If you grew up in a family where you didn't see any of your parents or at least one close relative run a big business or large corporation, rather what you were used to seeing was them doing small businesses and getting some side gigs here and there, then there are two things to note. The first is you've definitely seen people in the vicious cycle of constantly working hard yet feeling like they were not rewarded enough or compensated enough for all their hard work. And then the second is this: there's a high chance you've subconsciously made a mental association between struggle and reward. It's a deceptive concept whereby you start to feel like the level of hard work you put into any activity determines the level of success you're going to get out of it. But in reality, if you learn how to observe patterns, you clearly see that it is not the case. Because the truth is, the reason why most of those families stayed stuck at that level of being middle class or being of low income is simply down to the fact that they did not understand a very key concept in life and business called optimized evolution. Optimized evolution simply entails that in every field or business that you're engaged in, there are levels and stages, and with every level and stage comes a required set of systems that are necessary to scale that level to get to the next. In very simple terms, the systems that got you to entry level aren't the required systems that will get you to peak level. What got you rich in the first place is not necessarily what will keep you wealthy. This is the edge that people who grew up in wealthy homes enjoy over those who grew up in poor and low income families. And do not buy that narrative that we were sold, that it's the people that grew up poor that have the hustling spirit, that know how to do that's a lie. According to Forbes, there are 4 billionaires in Nigeria. 3 out of the 4 came from super wealthy and influential families. Dangote's great-grandfather was one of the richest men in West Africa, if not the richest. Otedola's father was the governor of Lagos State and a very influential man in the finance space. Abdulsamad Rabiu, his father was one of the biggest industrialists in the 70s and the 80s. So do not buy the lie that, you need to come from a poor family to have the hustling spirit. What you are defining as hustle and what those people are defining as hustle are two different things. They understand that there is an optimized hustle where you are simply the bullets in the gun. You do the most necessary activities that move the needle in your business and yield the highest returns. When you started your small business, you were doing the packaging, you were writing handwritten notes to all your customers with love, you were doing everything in the business. But now you have grown, you've gotten to a certain level of consistent cash flow in your business, you're still doing everything, you're wasting your time and leaving millions, potentially tens and hundreds of millions on the table, just so that you feel like you're hustling. There are a lot of things that we term hustle that are complete waste of time. If you notice that 80% of your sales are coming from Instagram, from a particular content type, why not focus on that content type and delegate everything else to a few people? I've been privileged to encounter and work with some of the smartest business people. All of them understand something very important, and it's called mental fatigue. Your mind can't be everywhere. You can't be doing everything. You should do only the most important things. And this is where I see many people make mistakes on the online space. You know that your major responsibility should just be churning out content for your company, putting yourself out there as the face of your brand and getting attention to the products that you're building. But you're just doing everything and consistently wearing yourself out. That should not be the case.
If you haven't subscribed or followed us yet, you might never see our video again.